Hey everybody, nice to see you back. Hopefully you guys have had a good, relatively decent day today. Today's actually a pretty good day. It is my wife and I's 5th wedding anniversary, so that's pretty cool. And just like our wedding day, it's a cold, dreary day. I don't get it. Every wedding anniversary we've had, with the exception of, I believe, last year we actually had a nice anniversary day. It was like 80 degrees. It was gorgeous. Every other wedding anniversary, including our wedding day, cold, 40s, 50s, just, dark clouds, dreary, just, ugh. And today, same thing. So, go figure. But we'll still make the best of it. But what I wanted to talk a little bit about today is, it kind of takes off from last night. And there was something I wanted to kind of look into. But before I do that, if you are new to the channel, and this is your, obviously, if you're new to the channel, this is probably the first video you're seeing. If it is, and you love hockey like I do, like we all do, no matter what kind of hockey it is, whether it's hockey drama, talking hockey jerseys, jersey unboxing, just anything hockey related. If you like that kind of stuff, or if you love that kind of stuff like I do, it would be absolutely awesome. It would be greatly appreciated if you would hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Also, if you want to be notified of any time a future video is uploaded, hit the little bell too, and you can turn on notifications for that. So, last night was fun. Last night was a fun game to watch. And I love the fact that it's two teams. It's not necessarily a team that I cheer for. I like both teams, so I was good with whoever won. And Florida ended up winning it. And it was a fantastic game. And Florida just keeps this run going that they're on. It's an incredible run that they're on right now. But what I wanted to do is, because it was the 6th longest overtime game in NHL history. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to take a look at the top 10 longest overtime games in NHL history. Now, I didn't exactly have room on the board because I kind of write a little big. So I didn't really have a lot of the room to write down who the goaltenders were, but I will name off who the goaltenders were in each game. Because, I wrote down the scorers of the goals, but I didn't write down the goaltenders, but I will tell what the goaltenders were. And these are some long ones. These are some long ones. So, number 10 was the San Jose Sharks, or the Dallas Stars. The Dallas Stars over the San Jose Sharks. The score in that game was 2-1 in the 4th overtime, which the time of the overtime, 69 minutes and 3 seconds. So that tells you just how, that's the number, the time here is the time in the overtime. That's not counting the 60 minutes on top of the game. Or at least I don't think. No, because it's 20-minute overtime, so yeah, 20, 40, 60, yeah. So 69 minutes and 3 seconds of overtime, and it was scored by Brendan Morrow in 2008. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. And in 2008, the goaltenders were, the winning goaltender was Marty Turco over Evgeny Nabokov for San Jose. So that was 2008. Number 9 on this is the Toronto Maple Leafs over the Detroit Red Wings, 3-2 in the 4th overtime. And that was 70 minutes and 18 seconds of overtime. That's the amount of overtime from the start of the first overtime all the way through. 70 minutes and 18 seconds of overtime play. The goal was scored by Jack McLean in 1943. The goaltenders, the winning goaltender was Turk Broda over Johnny Mowers. Mowers. I think it's to me, I think it's probably pronounced Mowers, but yeah. So that was 1943, and yeah, scored by Jack McLean. So I mean, that was number 9. Dating back, we're talking during the World War II era. Number 8, the Vancouver Canucks over the Dallas Stars. The Canucks beat the Stars 5-4 in the fourth overtime. 78 minutes and 6 seconds of overtime. Scored by Henrik Sedin, and the year was 2007. And the goaltenders there were, the winning goaltender was Roberto Luongo over Marty Turco. So it's crazy to it's crazy to think that Luongo was in Vancouver at the time, and Henrik Sedin got the goal. So gotta love some of these long overtimes. And Vancouver, and Dallas is on here. Dallas is on here a couple of times. Well, yeah, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Well, 3 times. Yeah, Dallas is on here 3 times. Not bad. But yeah, Henrik Sedin in 2007 had the 8th longest overtime game with Vancouver over Dallas. Number 7, the Pittsburgh Penguins beat the Washington Capitals 3-2 in the fourth overtime. 79 minutes and 15 seconds of overtime. The goal was scored by Peter Nedved in my senior year in high school. The last time these guys made the Stanley Cup Final, 1996. The goaltenders at that time, the winning goaltender was Ken Reggett, and the losing goaltender was Olaf Kolzig. Couple of interesting names there. God, Ken Reggett. You got a Ken Reggett reference. Gotta like that. Number 6, of course, just last night, the Florida Panthers over the Carolina Hurricanes, 3-2 in the fourth overtime. 79 minutes and 47 seconds of overtime, scored by Matthew Tkachuk. Of course, it was just last night, so it was 2023. The goaltenders, of course, were the winning goaltender was Sergei Bobrovsky. The goaltender on the losing end was Freddie Anderson. Boy, what a game last night. It was so fun. And the goaltenders were just outstanding. Just outstanding. So that was just last night for 2023, the 6th longest in history. Number 5 is the Anaheim Mighty Ducks over the Dallas Stars 4-3 in the 5th overtime. That game went into 5 overtimes, and that one didn't go long into the 5th overtime. 80 minutes and 48 seconds in overtime, and Peter Sikora scored that goal, and that was in 2003. The goaltenders there were Jean-Sebastien Jaguar for the Anaheim Ducks, or the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, and Marty Turco was the goaltender for the Dallas Stars. So, that's another game I think I remember watching, because that was a year, we were all watching, at least here in Minnesota, we were watching the run that the Minnesota Wild was on. And of course, the Minnesota Wild ended up running into the Anaheim Mighty Ducks and John Sebastian Jaguar, and that's where the Wild season ended. Number 4. Now this was in the bubble. The Tampa Bay Lightning beating the Columbus Blue Jackets 3-2 in 5 overtimes. 90 minutes and 27 seconds of overtime play. And this was in the bubble. So, and I can't remember exactly, because the way they had the games, the way they kind of had the games set up, it was almost similar to like how they do the high school hockey tournament here. They'd have like 2 or 3 games a day. So I mean, that one might have been an afternoon game, which I'm thinking it might. I think it might have been. But Braden Point scored the goal, of course, in 2020 in the bubble. And the bubble playoffs. It was August. It was August of that year. And the goaltenders that year, of course, were for Tampa, Andrei Vasilevsky, and for Columbus was Jonas Korpisalo. And Korpisalo, I believe, made like 70 some odd saves. He was incredible. So, but that was in 2020. Number 3. Another game I remember watching and thinking, God, is this ever going to end? Number 3, the Philadelphia Flyers defeating the Pittsburgh Penguins 2-1 in the 5th overtime. 92 minutes and 1 second of overtime. And the goal was scored by Keith Primo in the year 2000. Crazy game. The goaltenders there were, the winning goaltender was Brian Boucher for Philadelphia. And how about this for a name? Not many people remember that he played for Pittsburgh. We all think of his time in Quebec. Ron Tugnut. Ron Tugnut was the goaltender for the Pittsburgh Penguins that year in 2000. Ron Tugnut had a heck of a long career. Number 2. Now these are the top 2. I definitely did not see. I don't think any of us really would have seen these. But number 2 was the Toronto Maple Leafs over the Boston Bruins, 1-0 in the 6th overtime. 6th overtime. Wow. 104 minutes and 46 seconds of overtime play. The goal was scored by Ken Doherty in 1933. The winning goaltender for that game was Lorne Chabot, and the losing goaltender was Tiny Thompson. Kind of interesting. I kind of like the name there, Tiny Thompson. But yeah, number 2, 1933, and the number 1, the longest playoff overtime game in NHL history was the Detroit Red Wings over the Montreal Maroons, 1-0 in the 6th overtime, 116 minutes and 30 seconds. That is insane. I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine playing that long? Whew. Now, I love the name, the goal scorer name. Great name. Mud Brunito? Brunito. I think Brunito. I think. Let me know if you can pronounce that correctly. I think that's Brunito. I think, but first name Mud. I love it. I love it. Such a hockey name, right? Mud. What's your name? My name is Mud. So, but that was in 1936. The goaltenders there, the winning goaltender, Normie Smith. And the losing goaltender, oddly enough, was the winning goaltender, for the second longest game, Lorne Chabot. So, crazy to think that, you watch some of these games. We watch, just watching the game last night, it's the kind of thing where, the game ended, it was almost 2 a.m. in Raleigh, North Carolina. And they were still like 40 minutes off of the longest game ever. Or pretty darn close. Almost 40 minutes. What is that? What is that? Like 30 some odd, 37 minutes? About 37. They would have had to have played, obviously they would have had to have gone into 6 overtimes, but they weren't that far away from hitting a fifth. It was only 12 seconds. There was only 12 seconds left in that fourth overtime before Tkachuk put the game away. So, that was really close to hitting that fifth overtime. But it's crazy to think that, you got to get into the 6th overtime here to even get close to these two. Even number 3 was 92 minutes. These were a full almost 20 minutes longer. It's crazy to think that. But yeah, so we saw the 6th longest overtime, and I thought that would be a good little thing to look at. I thought let's look at the top 10 longest overtimes and kind of compare and see where see what the years were, who scored, who the goaltenders were, and the time. And it's crazy that you go and you look at, from number 10 to number 1, it's over 50 plus minutes. Crazy. So let me know what you guys think. Are these records, the top 2, could there ever be a chance that those records get eclipsed? Could we potentially see at some point a score or an overtime game that goes this long? I don't think so, but just because of the skill of the players and everything, I don't think we ever see either of those two come anywhere close. Maybe we can get, it's possible we could get a game to get into the, number, close to the number 3 range. The Lightning and Blue Jackets in the bowl only came, about a minute and a half away from hitting that mark of being number 3 on that list. So, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think of the longest overtime playoff games. And do you guys think it's possible that at some point there could be a game where number 2 or number 1 is threatened? I honestly don't think so, but I'd love to know what you guys think. Again, if you haven't done it yet, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell to be notified anytime a future video is uploaded. And yeah, I thought this would be something cool to look at. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. I will see you guys later.